Are you suffering from imposter syndrome? I'll tell you, over 10 years ago when we started our church, I always felt like every other pastor was better than me, that they could preach better than me, that they could pray better than me, that they were better leaders than I was. I always felt like I was a fraud and they knew more scriptures than I did. And eventually I would be found out and people would know that I didn't know as much as I pretended to know. That's what was going on with me. I felt like a charlatan. I felt like that I wasn't validated and that I wasn't the pastor that other people were. And I will tell you something, it wasn't too much later that I discovered that's what imposter syndrome is. It is, simply put, when you think that everyone knows better, knows more, or is better than you, and you feel lost. You feel like you are a fraud and you're just waiting on everybody to really find out who you really are. As a matter of fact, you begin to hold on to this false belief that you're not capable enough and that you're not smart enough, and that you think that other people don't think you're smart either. As a matter of fact, some of the symptoms of this is like you downplay accomplishments. You have this fear of failing. You also overwork, and your overworking is because you think that's the only way to meet expectations. You also hold back from attainable goals. Ugh. Am I talking about somebody right now? That you have suffered from this thing called imposter syndrome. And it shows up at work, but it also shows up in our relationships, and you don't feel like you deserve affection. You don't feel like you deserve that person's love. It shows up in our romantic relationships, shows up in our friendships. And so this imposter syndrome, it also prevents us from taking advantage of opportunities because we will self-sabotage. And it is important, especially as people of God, and especially for my men, it is important for you to recognize who you really are. And so I want to give you a couple things that I believe that will help you, that really helped me getting over that season of this imposter syndrome. First is just recognizing your own potential and take ownership of your own accomplishments. I was downplaying all my accomplishments. I was downplaying my degrees, and I was downplaying stuff, saying, well, it's because I got this, that this happened. And the reality is I had to start saying, no, you know what? I do have my bachelor. I do have my master's degree. Yeah, I do have my doctorate. And that's not bragging. This is me saying, you know what? I'm taking ownership in my own accomplishments, that I've written books. That's not bragging. That's saying, you know what? If nobody else recognizes this, you got to recognize and own your own accomplishments. Stop downplaying them. You know what? False humility, as my wife would say, it's not cute. It's not cute, and it's not you. Be who you are and be confident. But also, you got to remind yourself that you know more than you think. You know more than what you think. And even for those of you who say, well, there's some stuff I don't know. Remember, you are capable of learning whatever it is you don't know. You can have confidence knowing, guess what? Nobody ever hires you or becomes in a relationship, gets in a relationship with you, or guess what? Even as a parent, nobody expects you to know everything. They don't. It's not realistic. But I've learned that some of the greatest signs of wisdom is to be able to say, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I will go and learn it. I'll go and find out, and I'll get back with you, right? Here's the other way of helping yourself if you've been dealing with this imposter syndrome. You got to talk to people who know you and support you, not just people who know you, because everybody who knows you don't support you. Come on up in here. Somebody say amen to that. And so it's important, those people who know you and they got your back, they your ride or dies, those are the people who are going to literally tell you who you are when you forget it. Those are the people who say, nah, you bold, you courageous, you got faith, you can, I had some friends who was like, look, you can preach your tail off. You're a great leader. You have led before. You know a ton of scriptures. He's like, you care about God and you care about people. And they had to build me up. And those are the words I had to hold on to, and not this inner critic who was trying to force me to compare myself to everybody else. And I felt like I didn't measure up. And so they said, no, you are unique and you are who you are called to be, and walk in that. But the last thing I want to give you to help you if you're dealing with this, maybe you need to talk to a therapist. Maybe you got some stuff that's so deep rooted that these small things are not going to help you get out of that. Maybe you need to talk to a therapist. Maybe you have some childhood trauma, some stuff that's in the way. But whatever it is, I came to tell you today that you are not an imposter, that you are not a fraud, that you are smart, that you are good, that you're a great leader, that you're great in innovation, that you have great ideas, that you are powerful, that your words mean something, that you matter, that you're making a difference, that people love you, and that you're going to help great people. You're going to do great things because you are great. I want you to know I am fighting for you to be great. Especially for my men out there, I'm fighting for you to be great. You got greatness in you. And it is time for you to believe the greatness in you rather than the lie that has been told to you that you're not anything. You are something. You're powerful. Wow. Whew. I just believe in my heart that when men stand up, man, the world changes. When fathers stand up, the world changes. So, man, I want you to know, listen, this is where I was. And that's why I had to write a whole book about it. Some things are worth fighting for. Listen, I want you to know, when you want to take care of your family, you want to take care of your community, it begins with you taking care of yourself. So remember, you, men especially, are worth fighting for. God bless you.